There is a massive difference between weight loss and fat loss, and so many people don't understand the difference. As a result, they hyper focus on getting to their goal weight, they rush the process, they undereat, they overtrain, then they end up getting to their goal weight and then they're completely confused. They're like, you know what, I thought I would look way more lean and athletic, I thought I'd look way better. Why have I still got this soft untoned look? Why have I still got this stubborn belly fat that won't seem to go away? So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening, the biggest training mistakes I see most men make, and I'm going to show you how you can build a lean athletic physique, training 2 to 3 times a week and doing absolutely no cardio. So in these photos, I actually weigh the same. I'm 75 kilos, but the difference is my body composition. That's my ratio of muscle to fat. In this photo, my fat's a lot higher and my muscle's lower. And in this photo, my muscle's a lot higher and my fat's a lot lower. So many people say they want to lose weight, but they don't. They want to lose fat and they want to maintain and build lean muscle because that's how you get that lean athletic physique. There is no point getting to your goal weight if you've still got this soft untoned look and this stubborn belly fat. So I want to talk about the two biggest training mistakes I see in the gym with men over 30 that are trying to build that lean athletic physique. Number one is the cardio camp. Cardio is not necessarily for fat loss, guys. And in most cases, it makes the process so much harder than it needs to be. And that's because the more energy you expend, your body tries to increase your energy inputs, your hunger and cravings go up. So there's a massive point of diminishing returns. And most people will fall into what I call the shame spiral. So they'll overtrain, do a ton of cardio, expend a ton of energy, give into their hunger and cravings, overeat, feel guilty, and then burn more energy, more cardio, and then they get trapped in this loop. This whole process, like I said, is about improving your body composition. It's not just about weight loss. It's about fat loss, maintaining and building lean muscle. That's how you get that lean athletic physique. So using cardio as your primary form of exercise is not only going to not help that, it's going to do the exact opposite. It's going to break down your lean muscle tissue, especially if you're overdoing the cardio. So there's a massive point of diminishing returns. And to make things even more confusing, there's a massive surge in endurance events and hybrid athletes doing hydrox and things like that. And they're in great shape and they're lean, athletic. And so many people look at that and go, well, that's what I want to look like. So I'm just going to copy them. But they didn't get that physique from doing that style of training. They did years of resistance training to build that muscle. And then they transitioned into that style of training. So many people skip that step. They try and copy that style of training, burn a ton of energy. Then they spend most of the time battling their hunger and cravings, looking at their body composition, wondering why they still got that soft, untoned look and that stubborn belly fat that won't seem to go away. Look, if you're doing cardio for a good cause, maybe you're raising some money for charity, or you absolutely love cardio, then that's fine. There's no reason why you can't incorporate it, but it needs to be much more strategic, and your resistance training needs to be your primary form of exercise, and cardio can be like the cherry on top. Number two is this junk volume camp. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see with men over 30 and something I was guilty for so many years. This is going into the gym, going as hard as you can, training 4, 5, 6 times a week, following these crazy high volume bodybuilding programs off a random app or ChatGPT. Because you're causing micro tears in the gym, your body doesn't actually build the lean muscle tissue until you're resting and recovering. So when there's an imbalance between your training and recovery, instead of burning fat, building muscle and getting that lean athletic physique, all that happens is you build up this central nervous system fatigue, this metabolic waste. And the problem with this, you can get away with it in your 20s when you recover faster and you're hyper responsive. But if you're a man over 30, we have a thing called a recovery drop off. And instead of burning fat and building muscle, all that's going to happen is you're going to get tired, lethargic, and again, get stuck in that shame spiral of battling your hunger and cravings. And this is exactly where I was. I remember looking around the gym, looking at people that were training nowhere near as hard as me, thinking, what do they know that I don't know? And why does my body not represent the amount of hard work I'm putting in? And that's exactly why there was an imbalance between my training and recovery. So instead of building muscle and getting stronger, I was fatigued, I was lethargic, and I was struggling with my hunger and cravings. So if you're a man over 30, finding that balance between your training and recovery is going to be the most important thing. In our coaching programs, we have a 2-hour training protocol, and we strip all our clients back to 2 to 3 45-minute sessions a week, doing absolutely no cardio to begin with, to get their hunger under control, to find that balance between their training and recovery. Suddenly, they've got more energy. Suddenly, they're getting stronger in the gym. They're hitting PRs. Then they start to see changing in their body composition. And it's such a positive reinforcement loop because they're recovering more. It's easier to stick to because they've only got to go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week for 45 minutes. So the barrier of resistance is much lower. So they're able to build that consistency, get stronger, hit more PRs. And and then their body composition starts to change and it becomes a beautiful flywheel. My client Toby is a perfect example. He was following these fitfluencers that were doing these endurance events, hydrox events, and he wanted to look like them. So he was copying their style of training. But like I said, they didn't build that physique doing that style of training. He was missing the years of resistance training before that. As a result, he got stuck in a loop of overtraining, undereating, tired, lethargic, and he felt like his body composition didn't represent the amount of hard work he was putting in. So when he joined our coaching program, we scaled everything back. We installed a 2-hour training protocol, 3 45-minute low volume, high stimulus weight sessions a week. We did absolutely zero cardio, and we found that balance between his training and recovery. We were able to fuel his body properly, and he was able to pack on a ton of lean muscle and completely transform his physique, doing 80% less than he was doing before. And because Toby liked running, we started to then incorporate it back into his routine. But this time he wasn't overtraining, he was fueling his body correctly. So if you're stuck in a loop of overtraining, undereating, and feeling like your body doesn't represent the amount of hard work you're putting in, I know how frustrating it is. I was there for almost 3 years, and I promise you, you're not the problem. And the answer isn't more cardio, it's not more workouts. It's about scaling back and doing less, but doing less better. 3 45-minute, low volume, high stimulus workouts where you focus on progressively overloading, you focus on getting stronger. It's about finding that balance between your training and recovery so your body can repair that damaged muscle tissue and you can get your hunger and cravings under control so you can stick to your calorie deficit number, because this is not about weight loss. It's about fat loss, maintaining and building lean muscle. That's how you're going to build the physique of your dreams. That's how you're going to build that lean athletic physique.